So I sat here for a very long time. How am I going to review a 47-minute episode while trying not to make it too long? But I think I can do it. Yo, what is going on, my husbandos and waifus? My name is HERMSAUR and welcome to another review for you guys. Today we're going to review Sword Art Online Alicization, or Season 3, Episode number 1. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Alicization right. I hope I am. But anyways, guys, first of all, this first episode of Sword Art Online has surprised me. I came in to watch Sword Art Online with these... I'm not gonna lie, with low expectations, just like I did with Sword Art Online Alternative, because Alternative I felt like was a very good series. It was different from the main series, but extremely enjoyable, and I loved Sword Art Online Alternative. Now, in terms of the regular Sword Art Online series, and if you guys haven't watched my live reaction, please check that out. I definitely condensed a 47-minute episode into 17 minutes. I essentially said that I understand Sword Art Online's flaws, I understand why people dislike it, but from my personal opinion, and it is even the reason why I am watching Naruto on my own without anyone else's judgment, is because I want to formulate a opinion myself. So whether if your opinion agrees with me, it coincides with me or not, it's completely fine, but I'm here to talk about the series. And I've been getting constant people telling me, and I'm just gonna make this quick PSA, Hermes, cover JoJo instead. Hermes, stop covering Black Clover, cover One Piece instead. Guys, I am going to cover the content that I want to cover. The first half of Sword Art Online, we were kind of left in a blank. We did not know what was going on. We didn't know about the other guy with the blonde hair. I forgot his name. And then we didn't know about Alice. Who are these two fucking characters? Like, we were jumped into the series, to the episode, without even knowing who these people were. We just knew Kirito. And I was like, why does Kirito look like a younger version of himself? Why isn't he talking about Asuna? Why isn't he talking about what happened in actual Sword Art Online? And we see that he's put into this world where it's kind of like a brand new game, but they're going based off of your soul. You're entering a game without any recollection of what goes on in the real world and anything of your past. And once you leave that virtual reality world, you completely forget what happens there. It's such a fucking trip. The things that happened in that first half of Sword Art Online Season 3 blew me away. I just could not believe what I was watching. It just went completely dark. We saw Alice getting tied up and taken away by a dragon. The rules that were set about them crossing this line. We see that the guy with the blonde hair had some glitch with his eye. We see Kirito trying to be a hero. Kirito being Kirito. It's just weird how that was introduced to us, and I was completely blown away. I was like, is this even Sword Art Online? This is completely different. And if it was Sword Art Online, if it was related to the regular series that we know, I was wondering how they're going to tie this in. How the fuck is this tied into the regular Sword Art that we know? And then later on we learned that this is actually an experiment. We see Kirito waking up with tears in his eyes, but yet he has no recollection of what happened in that VR MMO. He said it was like a dream. There's a lot going on, but I'm pretty sure like later on in the future it's going to be extremely simplified. One thing that they were doing in this first episode is explaining what he is doing with this shady side job that he's doing. He was explaining it to Asuna and to Sinon, two waifus of course, explaining to him what he's doing with the side job and the whole purpose of it. And he's actually saying that he feels like it's kind of tied into the original meaning of SAO, and they're just trying to continue on what Heathcliff did, the real purpose of it in terms of instructing pain and etc., suffering. It was crazy. I just like how they tied everything in. They added some science into it, and they actually like made a physical representation of what a soul is. At least in Sword Art Online, a soul is actually like a part of the body, which is pretty crazy. Like they said, inside the microtubules, pretty much like these little tubes inside of our body, but they're saying inside those microtubules are these little light particles, and those little light particles are the representations of our soul, which I thought was like an interesting explanation, I should say. But I mean, I'm not complaining. It just adds something to the story. People might find it as corny, people might find it some other way, but you know, like, I'm not tripping. And at the very end of this episode, we see the last member of the Laughing Coffin that has not been arrested actually inject Kirito with the death gun to his heart as Kirito stabbed him in the leg. We don't know if that's actually gonna kill Kirito. Kirito still has a chance to live as long as he's taken to the hospital, but I believe this is going to lead into the long upcoming season of Kirito just being stuck in this dream state where he goes into this dream VR MMO, or that soul MMO, whatever it's called, and just go off that. Because we saw in the opening, which by the way, the opening is amazing. There's just going. I just have so many predictions, and we don't know where it's going to go. And I just want to see where this anime goes, because so far right now, it has exceeded my expectations of what I thought Sword Art Online was going to be. There's going to be so much more depth, introductions of new characters, Kirito talking about going to the United States with Asuna. Now, lastly, the animation of this, of course, Sword Art Online, we can't deny their animation is always top tier. It has enough backing and support. Despite as much hate as it gets, I believe it has such a cult following where it gets so much love and support that they really, Aniplex really goes in. I think it's Aniplex, right? It might be Aniplex, but they really go in with Sword Art Online. And on top of that, like, art style, always on point. I loved the way that Kirito looks, like the younger Kirito and Alice and their friend. I loved how that look. Even the Dragon Knight, that shit looked amazing. I just, the fighting too between the Dragon Knight and the Dark Knight. So first episode, and as long as they continue this trend, right? Because as we know, like for example with Black Clover, My Hero Academia, they really focus on one episode and they put a lot of not only budget but a lot of effort into that one episode to make it look good. I'm hoping that Sword Art Online, which it does, it continuously brings this great animation style, and I'm hoping that it does. It's a long season. We're getting like 50 episodes? I don't remember, guys. Refresh my memory in the comment section below, but we're going to get a lot of episodes, and we're gonna go through all of it. I know this episode was particularly longer than others because it was 47 minutes. It was a very informative 47 minutes. If you got that first half, that first 20 minutes of us being in that other world with no explanation of what that was, I would have been like, what the fuck is this? This isn't Sword Art Online. But I'm glad that they added that second part. I will say that I was kind of worried when we saw that second part of SAO, where they're back into the Kirito stage, where Asuna and everyone's in there. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna suck now. But we don't know, and we just see Kirito get bodied right at the end. So very excited to see where the series goes. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys are looking forward to in the series, if you guys are watching it at all. Are you guys gonna give it a chance? Is this your first time hearing of Sword Art Online? Are you gonna watch it from the very beginning, which I would suggest? But yeah, definitely, yeah, man, I'm very excited about to see where the series goes. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like for me, because that would help me a lot. I'm sorry that these videos are kind of weird on a Saturday. I'm very all over the place today, so I'm just trying to get everything together before like we continue on. Next thing we're gonna do is Radiant, so I'll see you guys in a little bit.